teams for St. Luke's Child Protection Center and GBI Law Enforcement Intervention. She's originally from Des Moines, but now she lives here in Cedar Rapids with her husband and her son. So everybody give a warm welcome to Monica.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Anybody else? Can I get something back? Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
I said that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Guys, so I bought donuts and I'm not taking any of them with me. So if you had one and want another, eat donuts, take them with you when you go, because I'm not taking them. Thank you for letting me come and talk to you guys this morning. It's Black History Month, but I'm a firm believer that Black history is American history, and it's all the time. So as she said, I'm a lawyer, and so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about me. And before I talk about me, I wanted to give you a little bit of history, because to be a lawyer, someone had to pave the way, right? And so I want to tell you guys about this lady named Gertrude Rush. Gertrude Rush was a Black woman who was born in Texas, so in the South, in 1880, right? In 1880, she was born, moved to Quincy, Illinois, so found her way to the Midwest, where she was a teacher for a few years before she moved to Iowa. When Gertrude got to Iowa, she studied at Des Moines College, which is now Des Moines University. Anybody ever heard about or heard of Des Moines University?
Yeah, it's formerly Des Moines College.
Yes, it is. And they have a medical program now that a lot of doctors go to Des Moines U. But she, in 1918, got admitted to the Iowa bar, okay? And that's right in you guys' face. You want us to shut that? Yeah, it's killing you. It's killing me for you.
Oh,
Did we break it?
right on the wall.
We'll pretend we didn't do the
Nothing to see here.
There we go.
We should continue.
Better, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think?
So she got admitted to the Iowa bar. And when I say Iowa bar, do you guys know what the Iowa bar is? Okay. Iowa bar is, to be a part of the Iowa bar, you have to take a bar exam and get admitted into the Iowa bar, which makes you a lawyer, right? So after law school, you get your degree, but you can't actually practice law unless you go in front of the Iowa bar, take a bunch of tests. I think our test was 3 days long to become a lawyer. So she was the first Black woman in Iowa to be a lawyer. And when she started her legal practice, she had a practice in both Iowa and Illinois. So she was dual admitted, so she got to practice law in 2 separate states. And her primary focus in her legal career was estate law, especially for women and women of color, okay? Estate law was super important because in the early 1900s, women couldn't own property either, right?
No.
And so she fought so that if a woman's husband died, women would be able to inherit property, their land, and things like that. So that's was her primary focus. Gertrude Rush was the first woman to be the president of a
What? What are you gonna say?
a bar association. So she was the president first of the Iowa Colored Bar Association. So bar association that was just for Black people, because at the time, Black people were excluded from the National Bar Association. So she applied after being the president of the Iowa Bar Association to be a member of the American Bar Association. Anybody ever heard of the American Bar Association? Okay. Bar associations are a group of lawyers that get together and they network. Do you guys know what I mean when I say network?
You mean like an internet?
Kind of like an internet, as far as the network brings people together, where they can help each other grow their practices, refer other attorneys to each other, share forms and documents, and help each other learn how to be lawyers. And she was denied admittance into the American Bar Association, being a female, but mostly because she was Black, right? So Gertrude Rush and 4 other people founded the Negro Bar Association, okay? So the NBA which today is called the National Bar Association. So she was a founding member of the National Bar Association, which is a big deal, because it still exists. Alongside the American Bar Association, I think it has over 65,000 lawyers as members of the National Bar Association. And that is a huge lost my word this morning. Thank you. Accomplishment and contribution to the legal field. Okay, so because she paved the way, and I don't think there was another female black lawyer admitted until the 1950s. 1921, she was 38 years old, and not another black female lawyer until I think it was 1954 in the state of Iowa. That's a big deal. I was introduced as an assistant county attorney. Does anybody know what that is?
Anyone want to answer?
Do you want to answer?
Yes.
Okay, tell
I
me.
know what the attorney might look like.
Okay,
It's like a court.
it is a
One
court.
has a judge and lawyers.
And lawyers, and that's what I am. So an assistant county attorney is a prosecutor, and that means that I practice in the area of criminal law, okay? So in criminal law, you've got defense attorneys, and then you've got prosecutors, and that's what I am. Which means that when people break the law, I get their cases, and it's my job to prove to a jury that what they've been accused of, that they did, right? So I wanna get a jury to convict them. I am the first assistant Lynn County attorney. Our office has 13 or 14, I don't know, 13 or 14 criminal attorneys, okay? And the hierarchy in our office is that each county has an elected official who is the county attorney, so he's the boss over all of us, okay? And his name's Nick. When Nick got appointed, good morning, have a donut please. Okay. When Nick got appointed as county attorney, one of the first things that he had to do was appoint the heads of different divisions. And he appointed me as his first assistant, so that makes me number 2 in charge in Lynn County, which is a big deal. It's a big deal because I am also a first in that there has never been another black woman or black man that's ever held the position, the appointed position of first assistant Lynn County attorney. So for me, that was a very big deal. And I got appointed in January of 2022 and have been the first assistant since. So as first assistant county attorney, I handle primarily violent offenses and all felony level offenses, which is the bad stuff, unfortunately. So crimes are divided into simple misdemeanors, and then you've got your serious and aggravated misdemeanors, and then you have felony. And felony level offenses are your murders. I handle a lot of murders, child abuse, sex abuse, kidnappings, arson, the big cases. So that's what I do on a daily basis. How old are most of you? 8th grade?
We're eighth graders and we're gonna be 14.
You're gonna be 14.
Yeah.
So at 18 years old, you guys will be eligible to be jurors, and you may end up being a juror on a case in Lynn County, where you might get to come in a courtroom and see me. One of our teachers in here has been on one of my juries and seen what I do. She was on a case. There's this guy that used to live, I say used to live because now he's in prison, used to live in Lynn County, and he not the most stable-minded individual. He's a little crazy, but he had this high-powered pellet gun and was shooting at his neighbor's house repeatedly. Good morning. If you'd like a donut, please take one. Okay. I've never seen kids pass up donuts. What is going on here? You put donuts in front of a group of lawyers or judges, and those things disappear. So that's what we look forward to, is sweet stuff. But Leo was shooting at his neighbor's house, and then when the police came to investigate it, Leo was shooting at the police as well. Hit one of the cops, didn't hurt him too bad, but still caused an injury to him. And I don't know, we had a 4 or 5 day trial on that, and he was convicted and gets to spend the next 37 years in prison for his crimes. So, up to this point, does anybody have any questions about what I do? Please.
What were you gonna do if you found that someone committed a terrible crime?
What am I gonna do if I find somebody committed a terrible crime?
Yeah.
So when people commit crimes, law enforcement, being police officers or the sheriff's office or whatever the case may be, will do the investigation. And when I say that they do the investigation, they go through and they collect all the evidence, they do the witness interviews, they pick up bullet shells, they try and find guns, they track phones, they look at social media accounts. And then they take that package of information and they give it to me and I review it. Sometimes, a big part of my job is reviewing packets that come over from law enforcement to see if I agree with what they're charging a defendant. Sometimes I'll look at it and I will think that the law enforcement didn't file enough charges. And so based on what I see in my packet of information, I have the power to add charges. But I also have the power in my position to look at a packet and think that there's not enough information, or that I don't think that based on what they collected that the person is guilty of the crime that they're being accused of. So I can reduce the charges or get rid of them altogether, okay? So that's what I do, and then when I get that information, I put together a case and a theory of a crime. I think right now I have, I don't know,
Hunted didn't get here?
130 open cases, felony cases. Out of those 130, I think 4 of them are murders. 1 of them is a voluntary manslaughter, and 1 of them is a vehicular homicide. And so a lot of what I do involves death, right? The Lynn County Attorney's Office is broken into multiple divisions, where we have our criminal division, and then we have a group of lawyers, I think there are 5 of them, who do just juvenile work. And that juvenile work includes crimes that juveniles commit, but it also, and more importantly in my opinion, involves them doing cases that we call China cases. And China cases, CINA, stands for Children in Need of Assistance. So those are the cases where kids need help.
Wait, you mean like that country of China?
Nope, I don't mean the country of China. I mean children who have maybe been abused at home, or their parents have drug addictions, or whatever the case may be. The courts will get involved in that and assist in getting parents and children's services to try and keep families together. And if kids aren't safe, then they go through the legal process to get the kids in a safe spot. And then our 3rd division is the civil division, and I laugh about this because I don't really know what the civil division does over there. I know that they represent the county in all kinds of legal matters, but aside from that, I don't know much about civil law. I know mostly about criminal law. So, yeah, that's what I do in a nutshell. I did go to Drake University to get my undergraduate degree. Do we know what an undergraduate degree is yet? Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you. So, after high school, you have the option to go to college. And there's 2-year programs, which you usually get your associate's degree, and a bachelor's program gets you your 4 years degree. So that's what I mean by undergraduate. So I got my 4-year degree from Drake University in political science and this other program they have called Law, Politics, and Society. And so I got that. And then after I graduated with my bachelor's degrees, I went to law school and did 3 more years in law school, and I got a doctorate degree in jurisprudence. And jurisprudence is just another way to say your law degree. And then, like I said, after you do that, so you have this degree, but your degree doesn't mean anything unless you take the bar exam. And we took the bar exam, I don't know, like 2 months after graduation. So that first year out of law school, we spend the whole summer studying 8 hours a day, and then take the bar exam. And fortunately, I passed because I never want to take that test again. Yeah. So that's in a nutshell what I do. Does anybody have any specific questions about cases or processes or procedures or anything?
You have like less than a minute.
Oh,
Make it quick, TK, you know?
Ask.
Well, I don't need to ask because I already did a lot of questions.
Okay,
Michael, you know?
just stretching. Okay. Yeah, I hope that, please.
So what are your next steps career-wise? I mean, do you see yourself staying there or trying to progress?
So I don't see myself leaving the county attorney's office. My ultimate goal is to be the first woman and the first black to be the county attorney. And my time will come. When my boss retires, he's absolutely earned the position that he has, so I'm not in a hurry to kick him out of there. But I'm gonna run for county attorney.
Well, see,